Go Green, a Family Matters Earth Day special, is made possible by the following partners.
Providence Health and Services, introducing the new Providence Cancer Center, which incorporates state-of-the-art cancer care with natural light and elements of nature to nurture your mind, body, and spirit in a center of hope.
In the world of earth-friendly paint, only one has the coveted Green Seal certificate for both interior and exterior. Horizon from Rada Paint. Good for the earth, good for you.
With 6 billion of us, the rules have changed. We have to all be more careful.
We're concerned about the quality of the food that we eat. Through the course of the year, we're saving a small forest through here.
What better place is there to be than out in the sunshine?
Something called food security is something that more and more people are talking about.
So there's a sense that maybe it's already gone.
They know they're making a difference right here, and then go out and do the same thing somewhere else.
Kind of a win-win-win situation.
That's very exciting for us, for the cooks.
Why do it? Why not do it? It's an easy thing to do.
Go Green, a Family Matters Earth Day special.
I'm KATU outdoor reporter Grant McComey, and welcome to Go Green. Here in the Northwest, it's easy to see why our natural resources are so valuable and why we need to do everything we can to preserve them. In the next half hour, we're going to show you earth-friendly ideas and everyday ways to help reduce the impact on our planet. So where do we begin? Well, let's start at the end with a trip to the final resting place for our trash.
Prior to the 1970s, that's really when you had the dump, which was an unlined area where waste was discarded. For those wastes that either can't or aren't recycled now, this landfill it's a safe and secure disposal.
Without these landfills and the way they're designed now, we could be in trouble.
Basically what's happening is loads are coming into the landfill, they're being tipped off of our tippers. Most of what you see is coming from Seattle and Portland, Oregon. Seattle comes by rail to us, Portland comes to us by truck. The trucks from Portland are rolling 24 hours a day. You'll see that it's cleared by a dozer, spread across the working face, and then we have compactors that basically tightly pack it into place. We're currently standing on an area that has been previously filled. What's being tipped now is going to come up to this level that we're standing at right now.
It's going to take about a year, 1 year before what you're looking at down there is getting up to this level.
We've actually seen the effects of recycling in that the waste volume has stayed fairly flat. I mean, it has grown some, but not as much as the population has grown. The easiest place to recycle is with the individual, with that individual who's getting ready to make the decision, do I throw this in the garbage or do I throw it in the recycle bin?
Did you know that nearly 40% of the garbage that ends up in our landfills doesn't need to be there? In fact, most of it could be recycled, even repurposed. We found a local business that offers people an alternative to the landfill.
We're the largest nonprofit reuse center for used building materials in North America. 65,000 square feet of used building materials. Everything is donated.
8 tons going through here a day, out in people's vehicles and their cars and their trucks coming through. So the flow is coming and going. It's like a constant ocean tide.
We have really everything. Doors to windows to sinks to dimensional lumber, trim, really everything and anything that you can put into a house, we have here.
Yeah, so this is what I'm looking here for. My goal is to be environmentally and socially responsible with how I build stuff. I'm kind of more interested in reuse as the first resource. So a lot of this stuff would otherwise end up in the landfill,
All of these materials get to find a new life, don't have to be remanufactured.
Some of these older products that you find here are actually manufactured better than things you might currently find on the shelf.
We also have a free pickup service that goes throughout the region.
This piece is incredible. It came out of the West Hills. It's a vintage piece, turn of the century, clear fur, 5/4, and the craftsmanship is just incredible on this.
One of our programs is deconstruction services, where we take down houses by hand. Typical 2,000 square foot house. By deconstructing and reusing those materials, the benefits saved are the equivalent of taking 3.5 cars off the road for a year.
A lot of the materials here, it's just looking beyond the facade and seeing what's underneath and seeing the values in them.
You can see kind of these dirty old 2x4s that have been captured and held inside of walls throughout the region for the last 100 years. And if you mill it down, you get this beautiful clear vertical grain.
Some of the happiest people that we have in here are the ones that are finding that one piece of siding or that one piece of trim that they would have to mill and they didn't know how to match it. And so it breeds excitement.
The Rebuilding Center is a demonstration of how things that used to be seen as waste, that somebody at one point had paid to throw away, now they're here and are going to be able to be reused, which benefits communities and the environment.
People were saying that this material wasn't usable, that it was no good, that there wasn't a possibility of finding a way to make it work in the way that we build things now. And this place is a shining testimony that that is not the case.
For more information about the Rebuilding Center, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you'll find a complete resource center with video, links, and information.
It's clean. It's absolutely brilliantly spotless clean.
Welcome to the Providence Cancer Center. I'm Lisa Vance, the Chief Executive here at Providence Portland Medical Center, and I'd like to show you what's inside.
The new Providence Cancer Center on the campus of Providence Portland Medical Center is a center of healing and hope, where elements of nature are as important as the latest technology.
The focus of this building, in fact, more than half of the square footage in this building will be dedicated to cancer services. So we have our inpatient beds, we have radiation oncology, we have infusion services where patients could get chemo. So all of the services that are for treatment and diagnosis are in this building.
It was very important to make it as home-like as we possibly could. As we were looking at designing this unit, color was very important for our patients. Quite a few studies were looked at to determine what would be best soothing, calming, and healing for our patients.
The Cancer Center was designed even as far as the light and the space and the flow and how patients come through the building to make sure that they get access to everything that they may need when they're going through their cancer treatment. So even the garden level was built so that it has light, natural light coming in.
Beyond the colors and the light was also the sense of art. And that also plays a role in what we believe helps people relax. It just adds to the ambiance of restfulness and hopefully stress reduction. It's more than bricks and mortar. It's thousands of people who have put all their impressions together on what should really be happening for the patient. And I'm really excited to see the future of cancer treatment and hopefully someday a cure for cancer.
We live in a society with lots of chemicals in our environment, and many of them we can't really control. But one of the things we can control is what we bring into our homes. And one of the things we bring into our homes is cleaners. And we have a plethora of them. We have so many of them, we hardly know where to begin. The three things you need to look for when you're looking at labels are caution, warning, danger, or poison. You want to choose either caution or no warning whatsoever. If you don't want to spend a lot of time just trying to figure out which products to buy, you can make your own. This is what I have in my kitchen. I have a scrubby, I use a chore boy, I use vinegar, I use hydrogen peroxide. Sometimes I want to throw in a little nice smell of a lemon, and I use baking soda. What I'm going to make right now is a scrub that I use in the bathroom and use 1 cup and 2/3 of baking soda, 2/3 of non-petroleum based liquid detergent. It's very simple. And then right before you use it, you add some vinegar. It's a great cleaner. It's all I use. I don't use anything else. It's important because you have the choice to determine what you bring into the house. And with cleaning products, keeping it simple is the best thing to do.
For more earth-friendly cleaning recipes, go to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you'll find a complete resource center with video, links, and information. As we search for more renewable energy sources to power homes just like these, there's a growing demand for an energy source that's harvested down on the farm.
We're on 25,000 acres in Sherman County. The wind turbines that we have for phase 1 are each rated at 1.65 megawatts. All 76 of them are enough to power 34,000 homes. They sit waiting for the wind, they sense the speed and the direction, and they automatically start and stop based on wind direction and speed.
And what it allows us to do is provide green power as part of our energy portfolio. That's everything that we offer to our customers. If you talk to people 10 years ago about renewable energy, there might have been a small percentage of the population that knew what you were talking about. But more and more you're hearing people who are taking a conscious effort and thinking about the way that they live their lives, the cars that they drive, the energy that they use for their home, and how they can improve that to benefit their families, their communities, and the environment.
It's clean. It's absolutely brilliantly spotless clean. And what you get out of that for you is energy that doesn't cost down the line, doesn't cost you down the line in air pollution, doesn't cost your kids down the line in air pollution. It's not necessarily going to replace hydro or coal or natural gas, but it's going to allow us to supplement those resources, and whenever possible, we'll operate the wind and not have to operate the other resources. You come out here and you look around, and these folks have been growing wheat for hundreds of years, and now you see wind towers mixed in with the wheat, and it's a good combination. We have very small impact on the land. They can continue to grow their crops, and in the midst of the wheat farming, we're capturing the wind and the energy.
Oregonians care about the environment. They care about what we're leaving for future generations. Renewable energy is going to be an important part of the way that we provide energy resources to people. As energy demands increase over time, we need to be able to meet that demand, but also protect the environment.
Our customers want green power, and we're building it.
Restaurants are one of the major industries of the Northwest, but they can leave a big footprint on the environment. But some restaurants are heading to the roof to make their menus eco-friendly.
My name's Leather Stores. I'm the chef at Rocket Restaurant here in Portland, Oregon. This is an unusual restaurant for a number of reasons, not the least of which is the fact that we have an enormous garden on our roof. We are just at the beginning of our planting season. We've planted a lot of different greens. For the month of July and August, we will be virtually self-sufficient in terms of growing all of the produce that we sell in the restaurant. The move towards an eco-roof was kind of a no-brainer. It works, the carbon footprint is smaller, and it keeps things cooler. You can see throughout this garden a number of kind of unusual growing media, included but not limited to these funny little swimming pools. My guys can walk out of the hatch, pick greens, walk it right downstairs, serve it to a customer. It allows my cooks to realize the amount of time and effort that goes into bringing a seed to a harvestable, cookable vegetable. That's very exciting for us, for the cooks, and for the customers.
Service learning is a really, really good idea. It's where you take a meaningful project and you invest the kids in doing something that makes a difference in the world around them.
At Rada Paint Company, we care a lot about what you do with our paint. Here are 3 easy ways for you to properly dispose of your leftover paint.
If there's a small amount of paint left in the can, simply brush it onto some cardboard and wait for it to dry. Then dispose of both the cardboard and the can properly. If there's more paint in the can than you can paint out on cardboard, simply add paint hardener that's available at any Rada paint store and wait for it to set. Then dispose of the can with your regular garbage. If the paint is a solvent or oil-based paint, you will need to dispose of it according to the hazardous waste disposal practices in your area. If you live in the Portland metro area, that means taking it to one of Metro's hazardous waste facilities.
For more information on proper handling of paint and recycling tips, go to the Family Matters section of KATU.com.
At Rada Paint, it's the finish that counts.
Hi there, my name is Carl Graham. I'm the natural gardening specialist at Metro, and I'm here to talk about worm composting. And worm composting is one of the finest ways to produce compost on the planet, and it's pretty simple to do. All you need is a worm bin, fits in a small space. You need some bedding like some shredded, moistened black and white newspaper, and you need to feed the worm bin fruit and vegetable peelings, eggshells, coffee grounds, and other materials from your kitchen. What happens is the worms will eat this material, and their waste is really some of the finest fertilizer on the planet. You can sprinkle it on the soil and scratch it in or dig it in, and it adds beneficial soil organisms and plant nutrients. There's a couple of ways that you can build a worm bin yourself, and the easiest one is to use an old storage container like this and just drill some holes in the side for ventilation. It's as simple as that. Now, if you'd like to make a deluxe worm bin out of salvaged wood, it's pretty simple too. You'll need to measure your pieces, get them cut, screw the bin together, and voila, you have a worm bin that doubles as a seat. Whatever kind of bin you choose, worm composting is a way that you can have your garden be healthier for people, pets, and the environment.
Getting kids engaged at an early age with important environmental issues is critical for the future of our planet. And we found a program that's designed to get kids and schools excited about protecting the environment.
Okay, so our goal today is to get all of these planted and put in the greenhouse.
Oregon Green Schools Association is a statewide nonprofit organization that helps schools set up and maintain waste reduction and resource conservation programs.
And for me, that means lots of different things in our building. It can be all the way from recycling at lunchtime to recycling our water bottles that kids have during the day.
The first stop is the organics. And this is where they throw all their food waste, and that cuts down a lot on our overall garbage waste. It shows them what a little bit of effort can do when it's spread over a lot of people.
Our recycling team goes out and provides the service to the entire building. They pick up all the recyclable materials from every room and they bring it back here to a collection area. They'll carry this lesson their whole life. They really will.
We just went to look in the computer lab, and if there's anybody in the computer lab and they have the lights on or off, we would give them a good one.
And we're going to be putting in about 600 to 900 seedlings. There you go. Service learning is a really, really good idea. It's where you take a meaningful project and you invest the kids in doing something that makes a difference in the world around them, right where they live. And you can put all of the curriculum right into that.
I think it kind of sets an example, and it can show that even if you're just a kid, you can still do really big things.
Anything that we want somebody to continue on as an adult, they need to be exposed to as early as possible.
We get them when they're 5, but if we can keep that going at a very young age, they will grow into adults that are very conscious of their environment.
If you want to find out how your school can become an Oregon Green School, go to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you'll find a complete resource center with video, links, and information. It's a unique classroom curriculum that puts kids in touch with nature, and yet it faces elimination just about every year. See why a little time at outdoor school can last your kids a lifetime.
This is kind of like a satellite view of where the Sandy River is right now.
Well, Outdoor School is a week-long residential science program for 6th grade students. They arrive on a Sunday afternoon and go home on a Friday afternoon, and it gives them an opportunity to study the natural environment in the natural environment.
So remember earlier how we were talking about turbidity?
We're teaching just basic science, and they get a chance to see what happens in a river. They get a chance to go out and learn how trees work and the things that affect all the organisms in the soil, and also a little bit about geology. So they kind of get this baseline knowledge of information that I think a lot of general citizens don't have.
Because of the recent funding with K-12 education, I'll go to events and people will say, Outdoor School, I thought they cut that out of the budget. So there's a sense that maybe it's already gone.
Is it appropriate, and should we support it financially and provide it some good, stable funding? And that's the problem, really. Outdoor School has been around a long time, but it's disappearing. I think it's an endangered species, actually. Right now, only 2/3 of the kids in the region, in the metro region, get Outdoor School.
What we're hearing from teachers is that it will light a fire under kids to be interested in the sciences.
There's few places in education where you can get so much out of it in such a short period of time.
Just spending time outside, I think, is the most powerful way to gain a connection with outside. It's just like if you want your kid to enjoy music, you expose them to music. If you want your kid to care about nature, you have to spend time out in it.
To learn more about Outdoor School and how you can get involved, go to the Family Matters section at KATU.com.
Trees are multitaskers in terms of affecting the environment. As these trees grow, they will be absorbing carbon from the atmosphere, helping to reduce global warming.
The new Providence Cancer Center on the campus of Providence Portland Medical Center is a place for healing and hope. All of the services for cancer care are in one convenient location, from research to state-of-the-art treatments to spaces for family and friends. Down every hallway and through every door, you'll find a positive, healing energy. Providence Cancer Center is all about excellence, all about hope, and all about you.
Whether in the heart of the city or in parks like this, trees are an important part of the cycle of life on the planet. And we found an organization that helps give Mother Nature a boost.
Now we have to roll the tree in. This is the do or die stage of the, you can't take it back out of the hole once it goes in, not this size.
Trees are multitaskers in terms of affecting the environment.
It's going to do a number of things. One, it's going to keep this area cooler, which is great, especially next to a parking lot. Keeping cars cool actually keeps pollution down while they're parked. This is going to intercept water from getting into our storm sewers.
As these trees grow, they will be absorbing carbon from the atmosphere, helping to reduce global warming. Friends of Trees is a nonprofit organization that plants trees in the urban community and natural areas.
And now we're packing it in, making sure it's straight up and down and nice and well packed in there so it doesn't start moving around with the first wind.
These types of plantings are really important because they are in the industrial area.
The quality of life in an urban setting can be so much higher if you have a green space.
We're looking at streets that are devoid of trees, and especially ones that have impervious surfaces like sidewalks on them. Our second program is our natural area restoration program.
Morning.
On behalf of the City of Sherwood, my organization Friends of Trees, welcome and thank you very much for coming today. Today we're planting 824 different plants.
It's a good day in the mud.
We need to restore our urban natural areas so that they can accommodate the additional flow that's coming off of those impervious surfaces. What you're doing today is building that green infrastructure and making a difference for your entire community. We provide all of the tools, we provide experienced crew leaders. Our events are extremely family friendly, geared for ages, 6 months to 70 years old. Our whole goal is to make it a community building event.
And it's one of the few things that cuts across all lines is tree planting, because what you're planting today benefits the future and benefits the generations to come.
To find out how you can get involved with Friends of Trees, go to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you'll find a complete resource center with video, links, and information. It's an age-old tradition that's disappearing, but some have turned it into a family-friendly activity, and it can help us preserve a precious commodity.
And you're going to put about an inch of dirt in the bottom. Well, I grew up on a farm, and we did this. And I started doing it with my kids because I wanted them to have the connection that I had to growing my own food. And I think it's really important to be connected to that, to know where your food comes from. It doesn't come from the grocery store.
And it gives children this practical activity. And then they participate in the planting of the seed, and then, suddenly they like vegetables. It's a pretty good deal.
If a person wanted to start saving seeds, the way that you start is by growing the plant.
You could grow vegetables in a pot on a deck if you're living in an apartment. A lot of people grow herbs right in their kitchen on the windowsill. The process for saving seed from your vegetables is just cut cut open the vegetables and take out the seed and dry them. And you want them to be completely dry before you put them in a storage container. The produce that you get that's genetically modified, or if it's been radiated to kill germs, either way, the seed has been killed and it won't grow. My kids are very interested in preserving the environment, and it's probably because I have them out here gardening and I have them saving seed. And right now we're really concerned with the heirloom vegetables and preserving those because they're starting to disappear. So we try to buy heirloom vegetables from a food co-op or from a local grower and then save the seeds so we know what we're getting.
And if we start saving seed and we can, then grow our own food, I mean, you can't get more local than that. I can go out in my own backyard and harvest some food for lunch if I feel like it.
This is something that everybody should do with their kids. Teach them how to grow their own gardens, teach them how to save seed from the food that you prepare, have them prepare the meals with you.
For me, it's hope. It provides me some hope for the future. If I can save seed and I know I have some insurance for my future food.
As the largest paint manufacturer in the Pacific Northwest, Rada Paint has certain responsibilities. A responsibility to the environment, to develop products like Zero VOC Horizon. To our customers, by giving them the highest level of service that we can provide. To our employees, by providing them a great place to work. For over 75 years, that's what Rada's mission has been all about. Making great products, providing great customer service with high quality people. Because at Rada Paint, it's the finish that counts.
There's so many tools in the toolbox. If we all pick one up and start using it, the one that works for us, the one that we can afford, I think we can do that. That's my dream, that people really get involved. Recycling, composting, get part of a community garden. If you have a piece of dirt in your front or backyard, grow some vegetables on your own property. We have to all be more careful. We have to all use our resources as wisely as possible. We have to live simply so that others can simply live.
There is so much more we can do to make the way we live earth-friendly. For more ideas, information, and links, go to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you'll find a complete resource guide for ways to help you go green. For KATU and Family Matters, I'm Grant McComey. Good night. Fisher Communications.